In this chapter, we are going to talk about cryptography fundamentals. So first of all, what is cryptography and why do we use it? So cryptography is the practice and the study of techniques for secure communication in the presence of a third party. So the basic concept is that there are cases when we want to make sure that a given message is read by the sender and the receiver exclusively. There are several cases where cryptography can prove to be very important. For example, during the Second World War, the Allies wanted to make sure that the messages cannot be read by the Germans and vice versa. So the Germans wanted to make sure that the messages cannot be read by the Allies. So in these cases, both the Allies and the Germans used cryptography in order to make sure that a given message is read by the sender and the receiver exclusively. Of course, it is important when transferring funds electronically. It is quite intuitive that in these cases, usernames and passwords must be encrypted because we would like to make sure that the passwords are not going to be seen by any third parties. Cryptocurrency and blockchain are quite new technologies, but these rely heavily on cryptography as well. Or for example, storing users' information in a database, such as credit card passwords. Again, we have to encrypt these information in order to make sure that these information are not going to be public for anyone. Okay, let's talk about the most important keywords as far as cryptography is concerned. We have plain text, ciphertext, encryption, decryption, and the key. So first of all, what is plain text? Plain text is the message itself we want to encrypt. So for example, during the Second World War, the plain text could be a secret location or, for example, the time of the attack. So the plain text is the message we would like to encrypt. The ciphertext is the encrypted message itself. So plain text can be read by everyone, but the ciphertext contains random integers, letters, or special characters. So basically, we humans are not able to understand ciphertext. The encryption is the process of encoding a given message in a way that only the authorized parties can access it. So basically, with the help of encryption, we are able to transform plain text into ciphertext. Decryption is the process of decoding a given message, which means that with the help of decryption, we are able to transform ciphertext into plain text. And the key is a sequence that is needed both for encryption and decryption. Okay, so basically encryption and decryption are just simple mathematical functions. As far as encryption is concerned, it is going to take two arguments, the plain text itself and the key. As you can see, the plain text combined with the key is going to yield the ciphertext. So this is why it is called a function, because in mathematics, a function is going to take the arguments and going to do something with the arguments in order to return with the result. In this case, the plain text is going to be transformed into the ciphertext with the help of the key. We are going to talk a lot more about the concrete encryption algorithms such as the Caesar cipher, Vigenère cipher, and so on, so it's going to be clear what is the encryption function. As far as the decryption function is concerned, it is the inverse of the encryption function. So basically, we have to do very similar operations as we did with the encryption function. So in this case, we get the ciphertext and the key, and this decryption function is going to transform the ciphertext into plain text again. So that's why, as you can see, ciphertext combined with the key is the plain text itself. Okay, so that's all about the fundamentals of cryptography. So what's very important, that we are going to use a mathematical function as far as encryption is concerned and the inverse of that function for decryption in order to transform the plain text into ciphertext or ciphertext into plain text. So this is what we are going to talk about in the coming chapters. Thanks for watching.